An Ebro RJ-85 carrying Brazilian Chapecoense football team was on its final descent towards its destination Medellin. But something happened which was unexpected. The crew tried their best to glide the aircraft towards the runway. The aircraft plunged into the mountain just 18 kilometers from the final destination, killing 71 of 77 people on board.
Pull up terrain. Pull up terrain.
November the 28th, 2016. Viru Viru International Airport, Santa Cruz de la Sierra, Bolivia. The Brazilian Chapecoense football squad and their entourage boarded their second leg of the flight to Medellin, where the team was scheduled to play at the 2016 Copa Sudamericana finals. The flight was an Ebro RJ-85, which was a charter flight operated by Lamia. From Sao Paulo, they traveled in a regular commercial flight and landed safely in Bolivia at 4:50 in the afternoon. On the command of the flight was Captain Miguel Quiroga, who was 36 years old, with an experience of 6,692 flying hours, of which 3,417 hours on RJ-85. The co-pilot was Over Goitia, who was 47 years old, with an flying experience of 6,923 hours, of which 1,474 hours on RJ-85. Another co-pilot was CC Arias, who had recently been hired by Lamia and served as her first charter flight with Flight 2933. After getting permission from ATC, the crew started the engines, and then the aircraft got clearance to taxi to runway 34 for departure. Flight 2933 started its takeoff roll from runway 34 at Santa Cruz Viru Viru Airport for around 4 hours 22 minutes of journey to Medellin. Initially, the flight climbed to flight level 280, and later it climbed to flight level 300 with the permission from ATC. The crew were repeatedly talking about the fuel calculations and the possibility of landing at Leticia or Bogota to refuel. But later they decided to continue to Medellin without refueling, which was their final destination. At 1:15, the cockpit voice recorder stopped recording for unknown reason. They were close to their destination, so the crew started to descend. As the aircraft was descending to flight level 250, the master caution sounded in the flight deck, which was notifying that with the remaining fuel, the aircraft can fly just 20 minutes. But crew just continued descending without informing ATC about their problem. The Medellin approach controller cleared the flight to continue their descent to flight level 210 and to head for the Gimli, which is located about 30 km short of the runway 01 threshold. At the same time, an Viva Colombia Airbus A320 operated by Viva Colombia, which was flying from Bogota to San Andreas, was diverging to Medellin because of indications of a fuel leak, as well as 3 other aircraft were in the holding pattern. Flight 2933 also entered the holding at Gimli at flight level 210. The controller then stated that she would get back with vectors to the localizer and that it would take 7 minutes before they could commence their approach. The controller reported to the flight 2933 that there was another aircraft holding below them and asked them if they could hold a little while longer. The flight crew did not inform controller whatever was happening. Instead, they requested permission to immediately join the localizer. So this forced the controller to issue instructions to the other aircrafts in the holding pattern to maneuver them away from flight 2933. At this time, the aircraft was at an altitude of 15,934 feet and 15.5 nautical miles south of the runway 01 threshold. The controller asked the crew about their altitude because, according to the instrument approach procedures published, the minimum altitude upon passing Rio Negro VOR was 10,000 feet. But flight 2933 was at 9,000 feet and they were not yet above Rio Negro VOR. Then the controller informed that the flight was 8.2 miles from the runway. But until now, the aircraft came too low and impacted the top of a hillside at an elevation of about 2,600 meters.
Pull up terrain.
The wreckage came to rest down the wooded hillside right next to the Rio Negro VOR beacon. The initial plans for Lamia was to fly the football team from Sao Paulo to Medellin for the first leg. A refueling stop was planned at Cobiza, so Lamia requested permit for flight from ANAC, but which was denied as there were no provisions in the current aviation agreements between Brazil and Bolivia to allow such a commercial flight. Then the team was flown to Santa Cruz in Bolivia on a regular commercial flight, which caused delays from Bolivia. So Cobiza could no longer be used to refuel because of nighttime closure of the airport. The distance of the flight planned from Santa Cruz to Medellin was 2,983 km. The flight plan of 2933 showed an estimated flying time of 4 hours 22 minutes and a fuel endurance was also the same time. So there was no extra fuel for some unexpected situations. Like in the case of weather or wind changes, the airplane has to navigate around. Or also, sometimes the air traffic controller does not give permission to fly into the requested flight level because of traffic. As well as sometimes the aircraft needs to go around. The investigation was released on 27 April 2018 and was led by Aerocivil Colombia. According to the investigators, the airline inappropriately planned the flight without considering the necessary amount of fuel that would be needed to fly an alternate airport, fuel reserves, contingencies, or the required minimum fuel to land. As well as the crash was caused by the poor decision making by Lamia employees as a result of processes that failed to ensure operational security. Also, the crash was caused by the poor decision making by the flight crew, who continued the flight on extremely limited fuel despite being aware of the low fuel level aboard the aircraft, and who did not take corrective actions to land the aircraft and refuel. This much for today. If you are watching until now, then please support us by liking the video and by subscribing the channel. I will see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.